Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are from Group A, which consists of Afrida Ariana, Eko Restu Saputra, and Frida Ayu Dwi Novanti. We will present our analysis about a short story entitled Araby by James Joyce. And here are the things that we are going to present today within our analysis. The first one is about the introduction, which is the introduction to the author. Second is plot. The third is POV or point of view. The fourth is narrative structure. The next setting, the next characters, and the last is symbol. And the first thing that we are going to present today is introduction to the author. My name is Eko Restu Saputra. I will present the first part of this analysis, which is introduction to the author. All right, so Araby by James Joyce. James Augustine Aloysius Joyce was an Irish expatriate writer and poet, considered one of the most influential writers in the 20th century, and best known for his novel Ulysses in 1922, and his other works include a collection of short stories Dubliners in 1914, and the novels A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man in 1916, and The Finnegan's Wake in 1939. So Joyce was born in Dublin into a middle-class family. He is a brilliant student. He attended the Jesuit Clonmel College in County Kildare. Then briefly, the Christian Brothers ran a Cornell school. Despite the chaotic family life imposed by his father's unpredictable finances, he excelled at the Jesuit Belvedere College and graduated at University College in Dublin in 1902, and in 1994 he met his future wife Nora Bernacle, and they moved to the mainland Europe. And the next thing is plot. So the young boy, which is the unknown narrator, develops a crush on his friend's sister, Mangan sisters, and by noticing details of her movement. And then the narrator always tries to see her and catch a look from her, but he never speaks to her except for a casual words. So they had no conversation at all. And one day, Mangan's sister speaks to him about Araby Bazaar. She wants to go, but she cannot because of the church activity. And then the narrator says he will go there and bring her something from there. And the narrator cannot think anything but Araby. He seeks permission to go to Araby from his aunt. But he gets delayed because he has to wait firstly for his uncle to give him some money to go to Araby. And then after he has the money from his uncle, the boy reaches the bazaar, but the stalls are mostly closed. Even though some are open, the guards are not friendly. And in the last, he gets disappointment during the day, leaves him utterly disillusioned by the falsity of what was supposed to have been an exotic bazaar, and he doesn't buy anything at all from Araby. And that's all from me about the plot, and the next part will be delivered by my friend. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Afrida Ariana Azahra, and here I'm going to explain about narrative points of view. So the narrative point of view of the story, Araby, is first person point of view because the narrator is used pronoun as I, our, we, and mine. So here we can see the evidence on page 1, paragraph 2, the former tenants of our house, blah blah blah, and among these I found blah blah blah. And then we can also find the evidence on page 1, paragraph 3, ducks fell before we had blah blah blah, and then when we meet in blah blah blah, and then if my uncle was blah blah blah. Next. Here I'm going to explain about setting. So here we have setting time and setting place. So the setting time of the story is when it comes to the winter season of the 19th century. And then for the setting place is North Richmond Street, Westland Road Station, Araby. So here we can see the evidence of the setting time here on page 2. Who sang All Come All You about Odo Nova Rosa? All Come All You is a song that is sang when it comes to the winter, when it came to the Christmas event. And then for the second evidence is when the days of winter came, ducks fell before we had well eaten our dinners on page 1. And then for the setting place, we can see the evidence here, North Richmond Street at page 1, and at Westland Road Station, a at Westland Road Station, a crowd people, page 4, and then I walk into the center of the bazaar timidly at page 5. Next. So, the narrative structure of the story is linear narrative structure. Here we can conclude that this is linear narrative structure because there is no any flashback in the story, and in the Araby story, the story is unfold in chronological order. So, for the next slides will be presented by my friend.
Okay, thank you for the chance. With me, Frida Ayudrino-Fanti. We are on the character slide right now. So in Araby, the main character is a young boy or the unknown narrator. Here, he's being in love with Mangan's sister, and it proven in page first, paragraph 4. It written that I kept her brown figure always in my eye, and when we came near the point at which our way diverged, I quickened my pace and passed her. And on the other page, page 3, it written that her image accompanied me even in places the most hostile to romance. And we speculate he is an uncheerful person. Why? Due to his perspective to his environment, because he's using dark muddy lanes, dark house, dark odors, blah blah blah, that has a negative connotation which is dark, and in Indonesian it is gelap. The next character is narrator's uncle, that we speculate he is someone who likes to drink alcohol, or we can call it as a bibulous. It can be proven in page 3. I heard him talking to himself and heard that whole stand rocking when it had received the weight of his overcoat. From the description, we can conclude that he was very drunk. And then we have the narrator's own. She is care and religious. We speculate her like that, and it can be proven in page 2 until 3, and it written, and hoped it wasn't some Freemason affair. What is Freemason? Freemason is an organization that headed by the religious people that time. From here, we know that the narrator on is care for the narrator and religious. And the other proof on the page 3, and can't you give him the money and let him go? You've kept him late enough as it is. And on the other dialogue, I'm afraid you may put off your bazaar for this night of our Lord. For the next character, we have Mangan's sister, or the narrator's crush. It can be proven in page 1 and paragraph 4. Every morning I lay on the front parlor watching her door. When she came out on the doorstep, my heart leaped. Blah blah blah. I kept her brown figure always in my eyes. Blah blah blah. The second evidence is in page 2 and paragraph 1. Her image accompanied me even in places the most hostile to romance. Then we can speculate she is religious because there would be a retreat that week in her convent. Convent is church. Then she has interest in bazaar. In page 2, it written that it would be a splendid bazaar. She said she would love to go. The next character we have Mrs. Mercer. She is a widow. It can be proven in page 3. It written a pawnbroker's widow. Then she is old and garrulous. It proven in page 3 also. She was an old garrulous woman, said the narrator. Then we have the priest, the former tenant of the house. In page 1 in paragraph 2, written, a former tenant of our house, a priest, said the narrator. And he's a bit odd, because on the page 1, paragraph 2, written, among them I found a few paper-covered books, the pages of which were curled by and dumped, the Abba by Walter Scott, the default communicant, and the memoirs of the dog, which is, it shouldn't on the priest book list because it is about romance story. Then we have young lady stallkeeper. She is kind of person that like to flirt. Yeah, and it proven in page 4 and page 5. At the door of the stall, a young lady was talking and laughing with the two young gentlemen, and went back to the two young men. Okay, that's enough for the character. We have to move to symbol. The first symbol is Araby. Here, Araby represents an idea of romance and beauty. Then, brown, a color, represents the dullness of everyday Dublin and represents my ancestor figures. Brown clad figure, we believe that the common clothes is used by her is brown. Then we have blindness, represents the narrator's behavior toward his life. He became blinded by his interest in my sister, by the love he felt. And we have darkness, represents how bitter is adult life as the narrator realizes about his true feelings for my ancestor. That's it for the discussion today. Thank you for your attention and your time. If you have any question or comments, please write down your comment and question on the forum. Thank you. Bye.